Hey Dad, I know that you've been busy lately with your company, but have you had a chance to look over my business proposal? I put a lot of effort into it, and I would love your input. I want to make sure that it will impress the people I need to show it to. I've got a meeting in a couple of months with a pretty important person, and I really think that this could be my big break. I just need to make sure that my business plan is as impressive as it can possibly be. Dad?
Corinna, what is it? I'm busy at the minute.
Oh, I just wondered if you had seen my business plan?
No, I've not been able to look it over. I've had too much on my plate to read a nonsense proposal. I really wish you wouldn't waste my time with these silly little ideas of yours. Don't you know that I'm trying to train your brother so that he can take over my company eventually? I really need to focus on making sure he knows what he's doing.
Hang on. You're telling me that you don't have half an hour to read my business plan? One that I know is a good idea and that will really take off, but you have time to teach Les, who is one of the laziest and most incompetent people I know, how to run a company?
Yes? Look, he may be lazy, but that's why I've got to whip him into shape. I don't have time to humor your silly ideas. You're an adult now, Corinna, and you need to start acting like one. You need to forget all about these ridiculous plans and business ideas of yours. They'll never work. Just get a real job, get your head out of the clouds, and start living in reality. I think the shop down the road is hiring. Why not apply there? And you can save up a bit and maybe actually go to college, like you'd originally planned before this stupid business plan popped into your head.
Wow, thanks for the support, Dad. No, really, it's too much. And for your information, my idea isn't stupid. It'll be a massive hit, I know it. And as for college, you know I don't want to go there. All it'll do is put me thousands of dollars in debt. And for what? A piece of paper? I've already got a business plan. I've researched and worked hard to make it a viable idea. I just need some help in making sure I've got the presentation right. I'd think, as my dad, you want to help me out a bit. Clearly, I was wrong.
I do want to help you, Corinna, but I want you to be realistic. Do you know how many people think they have the next great idea, spend all their time, effort, and money on it only for it to fail and they have nothing left to show for it? I don't want you to be one of those people.
But I won't be, Dad. My idea's good. I know it is.
That's what everyone thinks. It's best if you just forget about it now before you make a fool of yourself and move on to something more suitable. Maybe you could study to become a nurse or something? Something that pays well so you won't have to worry about money in the future.
And I'm guessing Les will simply be given money by you, since he's your favorite and all.
Helping him find his footing. He's a late bloomer and needs a bit of help and support so that he'll be able to take over the company. I want to make sure that it's left in good hands.
Well, it's definitely not in good hands with Les. He'll have bankrupted within a year once he has it, I bet.
That's not a very nice thing to say about your brother, Corinna. He's trying his hardest. Maybe if you put a bit of effort into something, then you'd understand what it was like.
Are you kidding me? I have put effort into something. I've put effort into my business plan. I've done all the necessary research. I've looked into possible competitors and done market research into how my idea would work and how people would use it. How much it would be to make within the first year, budgets and profit margins. I've done it all. You'd know this if you even bothered to skim over the draft proposal I sent to you.
You might have done all that, but there's no telling if you'd done it right. You could have just wasted tons of your time and hard work on something that won't work at all.
That's why I'd like you to look it over. You know what? Forget it. You clearly don't care what I do or how hard I work. Nothing I do will ever be good enough for you. All you're bothered about is helping Les because he's your son. Fine then. If that's how you want to be, then I won't bother you anymore with my silly business plan. I'll make sure to not involve you in it at all.
Now you're just being overdramatic. Although, I will thank you for keeping me out of your ideas from now on. I'm a very busy man and I don't want to have to keep having these conversations with you about trivial matters.
Uh-huh. I'll have someone else look over it. Someone who actually cares about what I do and believes in me. because that's clearly not you.
Look, we can finish talking about this later, Corinna. For now, I need to get back to helping your brother. Goodbye.
Yeah, whatever.
Little sister, Dad just told me that you and him got into an argument because you think you've actually got a good business idea? How pathetic. Are you really that desperate for Dad's attention that you'd create a totally rubbish idea just to have him look at it? Only real losers would do something like that.
Get lost, Les. If anyone's a loser here, it's you. I mean, how many times did you have to repeat a grade in high school just so you could graduate? Not to mention that you were kicked out of college as well for not showing up to your lessons. And yet you call me the failure.
Shut up. The teachers in high school were purposefully holding me back because they were jealous of me. And I didn't need college because I'm taking over the family business, so it was their loss. Because when I become rich now, they're not going to be getting any donations from me.
Don't make me laugh. You're not going to become rich. All you're doing is riding on Dad's coattails. He's the one who built the company up. You have absolutely no clue how to run a business.
Oh, and you do you? From what Dad was telling me, you don't know anything. All you got is a silly little idea that no one will actually want to use, and no clue how to market it. It's no wonder why I'm Dad's favorite. At least I don't embarrass him with made-up stuff.
Yeah, all you do is show up late for work, if you bother to show up at all, that is. You also lounge around all day, doing nothing and making Dad look like a complete fool as he tries to teach you how to run a company for when he retires. You do know that none of the other workers respect you, right? You make their lives more difficult than they need to be with all of your stupid micromanaging and ridiculous demands.
What would you know of it? You don't know how to run a business. If you did, Dad wouldn't have brushed you off so easily. He would have actually given your idea a chance. The fact that he didn't just shows that he knows you're a failure and that you won't amount to anything.
It's funny. You and Dad seem so certain that I'm just a clueless little girl, and yet neither one of you have even read my proposal. Is it that it's too complicated for your little brain and that you don't understand any of it?
I'm not an idiot.
Could have fooled me.
Whatever. No matter what you do, you'll always be a failure in Dad's eyes. He knows that all you're good for is a normal job, serving people at a checkout. I mean, he hasn't even offered to train you in his company. What does that say, huh?
It doesn't matter. I don't need his approval to know that I've done a good job. I'm not going to stop working on my idea simply because Dad said so.
Just face it, it's not a good idea and it'll never amount to anything. You want to know why?
Why?
Because you're a girl. It's well known that girls aren't good at business. Why do you think there's hardly any women CEOs? Because girls don't know what they're doing in terms of making deals and building a good company. They probably just spent all the money on shoes or something.
That's so sexist and so wrong on so many levels. I don't even know where to start in correcting you. Although, it'd probably all go in one ear and out the other even if I tried.
You can be as moody as you want about this, but you know it's true. That's why Dad's training me to take over the business, and not you. He feels exactly the same way about women working in business. The best place for you is at the reception, looking pretty.
Les, you really need to shut up. Like, now.
I'm just telling the truth. You'll just have to deal with it.
Well, we'll just see about that.
So, you've had your meeting? Time to pack it in now, yeah? I can only imagine they let you down easily, but it's time to get into the real world, okay?
Oh no, I think I'll stay as I am. Thanks, Dad.
Corinna, I'm just trying to look out for you as your dad. You need to get a real job now. I know you're probably upset because your meeting went bad, but it's time to let that idea go.
My meeting didn't go bad. In fact, it went fantastically.
Huh?
Yeah, things are really looking up for me.
They are.
Yeah, the other company's bosses really loved my idea. They were sold on it almost straight away. They've invested a hefty sum to help me get it up and running. A few $100,000.
100,000?
Yeah, I know. My reaction was pretty much exactly the same, but that's how certain they are that my idea is going to generate a lot of money.
Well, maybe I could help you out. We could split the work and everything and share the profits. Being the more senior worker, I'd have more of the profits, obviously. We could make a 70-30 split. I think it would be a great partnership.
Wow. I mean, really, you're just unbelievable.
Huh? What do you mean?
I mean, you couldn't be bothered at all when I first gave you my proposal. You couldn't even be bothered to skim over it to see what it was actually about. And now, after I've done all the hard work and secured a massive investment, you want to jump in and even try and take over my profits? I really don't think so.
But I'm your dad. We're family. We should help each other out.
Yeah, we should, but you couldn't be bothered to help me when I needed it, so you don't get to share in the success after I've managed to do everything.
You're being selfish.
Nope, I'm being realistic. You were the selfish one when you didn't help me simply because I'm a girl. You thought that I would fail in my endeavor, and so you didn't even try to help me. Instead, you focused all your attention on Les. Well, now you've got to stick to your plan because I don't want your help anymore.
You silly girl, if I don't help you, you're just gonna fail.
No, I won't actually. I've made it this far, and I know I'm smart enough and skilled enough to go even further. I don't need you involved in my business anymore. You had your chance, and you blew it.
But I didn't know it would be so successful.
That's your problem. Now, if you don't mind, I've got a lot of work to do to get my business underway.
Hang on. Wait a minute, Corinna. We can work this out so that we can work together. I'll even make it a 60-40 split.
How about a 0-100 split? The profits are mine. Now please, stop embarrassing yourself. I'm not going to hire you when you so easily brush me off. It just shows that you wouldn't listen to me on decisions, and I'm not going to let that happen.
But I know better about businesses.
Is that why yours is failing?
How do you know that?
Les has quite a big mouth.
Well, it's just a little slump. It'll pick back up again.
Well, maybe you should work on that. I've got my own business to worry about now. Sorry, Dad, but you didn't believe in me, so you don't get to jump in when I start doing well. Good luck with your own business. My business ended up really taking off. I was able to pay the investment back within my first couple of years, and I have made a lot of money in profits. My company continues to grow, and I can't wait to see where things will go in the future. As for my dad, his company began to really struggle. In the end, he figured out that Les had been stealing money and spending it on ridiculous things, like watches and clothes. Dad ended up firing Les, and he has him on a plan to pay back everything he took. Since doing that, my dad's business has slowly begun to pick back up again, but it will take a while to be as successful as it was. It just goes to show that you really never should judge a book by its cover. Just because I was a woman, my dad thought I would fail, but by believing in myself and working hard, I was able to prove him wrong and pursue my dreams.
Hey, Beth. Long time no see. How've you been?
Huh? Is that you, Ted?
Hey, you remembered me. Guess it makes sense. There's no way you could forget. I bet you couldn't stop thinking about me for a single day.
I beg your pardon?
Well, it's only natural, I guess. After all, you're so attached to me you couldn't stop thinking about me. I am unforgettable. Guilty as charged.
What is this all of a sudden? We haven't talked in years. You seem so excited.
Huh? So it really is that obvious that I'm just bursting with joy? I really thought I was just acting normal, but shucks.
What?
Well, if it's so apparent, I might as well tell you. I'm getting married! So this feels like the best time of my entire life.
I see. So you're getting married. Congrats, then.
Thanks a bunch. I just want to say, I'm sorry, Beth. No matter how much you may love me, I'm getting married to someone else. You should just count your losses and give up on being with me.
What?
I thought I should at least let you know. You know, otherwise you'd feel attached to me forever. It was difficult for me to contact you about this. But will you just support me in my decision to be happy?
Hang on a second. What have you been going on about? Why are you so hung up on the idea that I'm attached to you?
It's just that. When we broke up, you were sobbing uncontrollably.
What?
I know you loved me so much you couldn't help but cry your eyes out. That's why I figured you couldn't give up on me so easily.
What on earth are you talking about? I was sobbing so uncontrollably because you broke up with me right before our wedding with no good reason as to why. I wasn't crying because of some attachment to you.
There you go again, putting up a strong front.
The day before we got married, you were all... There's gotta be somebody else out there that I'm really meant to be with. You just blurted that out, then disappeared. That would make anyone cry. I'm not attached to you in the slightest. The only thing I feel for you is anger.
Well, that's not very becoming of you at all. I was so sure that you loved me.
Seriously?
Well, I'm sorry about what happened back then. But because of all that, I've met my soulmate and I'm getting married. My judgment back then was spot on.
Is that so? Good for you, then.
So you should hurry up and get married too, Beth. You won't regret it.
Long time no see, Beth. Do you remember me? It's me, Hallie from middle school. Whoa, Hallie? Of course I remember you. Good to know. How long has it been? It's been such a long time. Kinda surprising that you knew my contact info. Actually, you came up as a suggested contact, probably from a mutual friend. And when I looked at your profile, I thought I recognized your face, so I decided to contact you to make sure. Oh, I see. Well, it's me. How have you been? Great! Actually, I'm getting married soon.
Really? You're getting married?
Yeah. Do you know Ted? Actually, I think you talked with him a few days ago.
No way. Hold up. You're marrying Ted?
Mm-hmm. Are you good friends with him then?
No, I really wouldn't say we're friends. We actually dated a long time ago. So I guess you could call us exes.
Wow, really?
Just to let you know, there isn't a single thing between us now. As for our conversation a few days ago, he actually went out of his way just to let me know he was getting married. That was the first time I talked to him since the day we broke up.
I see. I can't believe that actually happened, though.
I'm just as shocked as you are. To think that all this time the soulmate he was talking about was you. I can't just let this go and say nothing about it.
What?
Hallie, I really hate to ask this, but... Are you really sure you want to marry Ted? Maybe you should reconsider.
I'm not sure I get what you mean.
He literally just dumped me out of nowhere. He broke it off the day before our wedding.
The day before the wedding?
He said his real soulmate was out there somewhere, then he just disappeared like that. But then I found out after that he'd been cheating on me with a bunch of other girls. Then he suddenly got turned off to the idea of getting married and ran off.
What? No way! That's horrible!
It really is. That's why I'm saying I really think you should reconsider marrying him. I'm sure there's someone better out there for a kind, sweet girl like you, Hallie.
Maybe that's true. But I'm fine, really. I actually think a horrible man fits my lifestyle anyway.
What? What does that mean?
Don't worry about it. Thanks for the heads up, though. I'm glad you're still the caring person you've always been.
It's more than that, though.
Hey, since we started talking, though, how about going out for lunch or something sometime? I'm not in touch with anybody from middle school.
I'd be happy to, but is that really all right with you? I am your future husband's ex, after all.
Oh, I don't worry about stuff like that. It's settled then. I'll message you later. I'm so excited to be able to see you again, Beth.
Man, married life sure is great. I never could have imagined life could be so grand. You should get married soon too. Haha. I think you'll like it. Seriously? Save the conversations about your lovey-dovey feelings for your friends or co-workers. Now. If I did that, I'd make all of them super jealous of me. Can't have that. Whatever. If I just boast about how great my wife is, nobody's gonna like me. I must be the only man in the world to have such a perfect, beautiful wife. You're that infatuated with her? Who could have imagined I'd meet my soulmate on a dating app? It makes all my past failures seem worth it. You met her on a dating app? You got that right. She said she was looking to get married, so I contacted her immediately. Then when I met her, she was drop-dead gorgeous. And to top it all off, we got married so quickly and smoothly. Huh. It was that easy? She's a really shy girl, so we didn't have a wedding ceremony, but it's been a dream come true living with such a beauty. She makes great food and has an amazing figure. No way I could have been this happy if I'd gotten married to you. Excuse me? I saw you on Facebook the other day. You looked like a drab, single, middle-aged auntie. Ha! What's that supposed to mean? I guess at first glance, for a single girl, you look alright. But you can't fool anybody with all those sags and wrinkles. Guess what I'm saying is, time sure hasn't been kind to you. You already look like an old lady. Excuse me! I definitely made the right decision back then. My wife is an amazing cook, has an amazing figure, and is intelligent to boot. If a man's gonna get married, the girl's gotta be perfect. Unlike you, she's the perfect woman. Guess a girl just can't compete with a pro. Huh? Man, the way you talk about your wife. I know you really love her, but it's not really fair. There's no way any regular girl could compete with someone as well acquainted with nightlife as Hallie. I should have known. Wait a minute. How in the hell do you know my wife's name? And what do you mean by well acquainted with nightlife? Huh, so she hasn't told you then. We used to be classmates back in middle school. Wait, really? Forget about that, though. Doesn't seem quite right that you don't know anything about your wife's line of work. Even though you're her husband, you haven't even the faintest clue that your wife is a stripper. Wait, what? Hallie is a stripper? She told me all about it when we went out to lunch a few weeks back. She said she's been their #1 girl for the past 5 years in a row. She has a ton of customers. And last year, she raked in over $1 million in one day for a birthday party. $1 million? Wait a minute. This is all just one big fat lie. Is it though? Yeah, of course. There's no way my precious Hallie could possibly be a stripper. You really know nothing about this, huh? I knew she worked at night, but I haven't heard anything about her being a stripper. She doesn't even have any makeup on when she leaves for work. She probably just works at an all-night diner or something. Probably? You mean you never even asked her? What, you just decided that since she leaves without putting makeup on, she must be working at an all-night diner? But if she was a stripper, she'd be wearing a lot of makeup. She doesn't put her hair up either.
Of course she doesn't. Why would she? Did it ever occur to you that maybe she gets her hair and makeup done at a salon before she goes into work?
What?
Besides, didn't I tell you she's their #1 girl? They're very thorough about making sure that customers don't find out where she lives. Just like how they do with any famous person who wants their privacy.
No.
What are you getting so flustered about? So maybe you're a bit surprised about her job. Aren't you satisfied with having such a beautiful wife? Also, she's their #1 stripper, so you can hold your head up high.
What? What on earth are you talking about? There's no way my wife works a night job like that. If she was a stripper, that'd mean she's flirting around with other dudes.
Yep, sounds about right.
But I haven't even held Hallie's hand yet. And she's doing that sort of thing with the other guys?
Wait, you haven't even held hands yet?
I told you, she's just so shy. She says she's still not quite ready yet, so we sleep in separate rooms.
Seriously?
What in the hell is going on here?
Hey, Beth! You told Ted about my work, didn't you?
I'm sorry, Hallie. I thought he already knew.
He misunderstood what kind of work I do, and it worked out better that way. So I didn't tell him the whole truth.
I really am sorry. Is everything all right?
Well, I guess it's fine. I was thinking about divorcing him anyway, so maybe it's all for the best.
Divorce? Already? You're already going to get divorced?
Didn't I tell you that the last time we talked? I married him assuming we'd get divorced anyway.
What, really? I think I would remember something like that.
Yeah. I needed to keep away one really creepy customer. So I figured I'd just get married to anyone.
I'm not sure I understand.
They kept trying to propose to me. I tried to wriggle out of the situation, but they even tried to submit a fake marriage certificate to City Hall.
Wow, that really is crazy.
I know! So I thought I should get hitched with someone as a precaution, get my last name changed and all that.
You really overdid it by doing that, though. If you were really worried, you could have just registered a name change and kept that one secret.
Wait, you can do that? I had no idea!
You always miss important details like that. That's one thing that hasn't changed about you at all.
Well, in the end, it's all the same anyway. In any case, I was able to throw off that creepy customer.
But is that really okay? Isn't it against the rules of establishments like yours to be married?
You'd think so, but that's not the case at all.
Is that so?
The fact that I'm someone else's wife actually improves my earnings.
Really? That's hilarious.
It's perfect for women our age anyway, don't you think? Otherwise, we get thrown in with and compared to the younger girls. As much as I work out and stay healthy, time waits for no woman, you know? At some point, there's nothing to do but find a new angle of attack. A married woman. That's spicy.
When you put it that way.
It's better to just be upfront from the start and let everyone know that I'm married. It gets a kind of taboo feeling going that really excites things. And the weird or creepy guys just naturally stay away because they don't want to fight an angry husband. It made for a great deterrent against guys like that.
Huh, I see. I never knew nightlife could be so complex.
Well, of course it does depend on your age and persona. Anyway, in my case, I have no issues with staying married.
But you're still going to get a divorce? I thought you said it was a good deterrent.
I've got that covered. I'll just change my persona from married woman to divorced woman.
Sounds like a lot of work.
I just really like this line of work. It's fun. Not to mention, I want to see how much I can earn doing this job. That's why I'm just going to divorce Ted anyway and keep my real last name a secret. That way, even if a creep tries to submit a fake marriage registration form again, they'll never get the name right.
You're such a professional. I'm at a loss for words, Hallie. I'm impressed.
And that was the reason I was looking for just any idiot who would get married to me too quickly. What a coincidence that it ended up being your ex. I was so surprised. I was more shocked than you were. Oh, I almost forgot. When things have calmed down, why don't you stop by my work for a drink? I'll make sure you get the best service. Alright, I have work today, so I'll see you later.
Beth, I don't know what to do. Hallie's filing for a divorce.
Wow, she sure didn't waste any time getting that ball rolling.
She said she was planning to divorce me from the very start. She gave me some money as a way of apology, but I really wanted to be with her.
But you don't really want to be married to a woman who's a stripper, do you? There was no other way this could have ended but in divorce.
I mean, I didn't like that, but I would have put up with it if she'd stayed with me. Instead, she's just suddenly leaving me.
Just give it up already. No matter what you do, she's not gonna come back.
As if I could just give up on her that easily. I'll never meet another amazing girl like her again. And I was married to such a beautiful woman for a few months. I can never get married, ever again.
I think you've set the bar too high, Ted. Hallie's way out of your league.
What should I do? Even if I go back to dating apps, every woman I see just looks inferior to me. At this rate, I'm gonna be single for the rest of my life.
If you're that upset about it, why don't you save up some money and go to where she works as a customer? Try to become a man she could truly love.
You think I can make that kind of money? She was able to make $1 million for one birthday party. With my salary, I can't even afford a bottle of champagne.
Then why don't you get a better job or something? You're the kind of man willing to drop everything and just get married even without a proper ceremony. Or break up with your fiancé the day before your wedding. You're impulsive! Surely quitting your job should be easy for you.
Come on. That's crazy talk.
I guess you're right. Anyway, see you later. If you want someone to comfort you over your wife leaving you, why don't you grab your wallet and go to a strip club?
Hey, Beth. I've made up my mind. I've decided I'll marry you after all.
Excuse me? What are you trying to pull all of a sudden?
This past month has been really awful. I told all my coworkers that I got married, so they all keep asking me to let them meet her.
How about you just tell them you got divorced?
I can't tell them the truth now. They're already starting to call me a liar and my excuses aren't fooling them anymore. So I thought if I just get married to you, things will all just work themselves out.
Excuse me?
Besides, you're still single anyway, aren't you? It's perfect timing, so I'll just have you.
Don't make me laugh. Who on earth would marry you?
Well, we did get engaged once. And I'm sure you're getting tired of being single in your 30s by now. Come on, I'm offering you a compromise here. Don't you think it's perfect?
You've got to be kidding me. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm seeing someone, and we're talking about getting married.
You're kidding. Really?
Thanks to some tips from Hallie, I worked really hard to get better at making myself more attractive. And as a result, I met someone really nice. There's nothing you could ever do to make me agree to marry you. Especially not some trashy compromise crap.
Hey, wait a minute. This can't be true.
Just tell everyone at your job the truth. Bye-bye. I'm very happy with my boyfriend, and we're planning to spend our lives together forever. As for Ted, he still hasn't been able to tell his co-workers the truth. To this day, he's still insisting he's married and has a beautiful wife. He even shows everyone Hallie's pictures and tells everyone that she's so beautiful he doesn't want any of them to meet her in person. Subsequently, now all his co-workers just treat him as a pathetic, pathological liar, and he's basically been estranged by everyone there. And as it turns out, he actually did go to Hallie's workplace once, but he was banned from entering, even with all his blubbering about being Hallie's ex-husband. I heard the bouncers beat the living daylights out of him.